Good news, good news, good news. Illinois is a you can get a job state. I have had the privilege of living in Illinois now for 10 years. And I got to tell you, the second I pulled into Illinois, I found a job. I said, moved up here with my wife, seriously, pregnant, moved to Illinois. She was going to school, sold her house in Indiana and headed straight to the big city up here. Landed here, didn't have any work, and I found a job selling cars. It wasn't exactly ideal. I was working 9 to 9, 6 days a week. It was grueling to say the least. But anyhow, then I got out of that and I started selling marketing and business stuff, and now I'm still in sales. But I found a job. I have a job. I've had a job for 10 years. It hasn't been a time in the last 10 years that I looked around and said, well, I'm not going to be able to find a job. Matter of fact, I believe that in Illinois, if you can't find a job, you didn't look for a job. And if you can't find a job in Chicago, you can't find a job anywhere. Very special town. Very special town. Opportunity everywhere. So I lead the question here. Why do people leave Illinois? I always hear people ask me that question. They say, why? They say, I'm going to leave Illinois. I can't wait to get out of here. And I ask the question, well, why are you going to leave Illinois? Oh, the taxes are too high. I said, you mean the non-progressive tax system that we have that charges 5% across the board? Everybody, whether they make $10 or $10,000, pays 5% of their earnings across the board? Seems kind of fair to me. I mean, we're all earning money. We should all pay taxes on the money we earn, right? Flat tax, that's nice. Everybody cries for a flat tax. Then I sit here and I stare at the aspect or the prospect of property tax. Oh my God, property taxes are terrible. I pay $8,000 a year in property tax. That's malarkey. You shouldn't have to pay $8,000 a year in property tax. It's too much money. And I agree with you, Mr. Neighbor. You should move from Illinois. But before you do that, I want you to take a look at the new incoming library of the place you're going to move to. You know, that place where they store all the books for the people to go and read and check out and all that kind of stuff. I want you to let me know how that goes, right? So, of course, once you're done with that, I want you to stroll over to the police department. I want you to look at the squad cars and the police officers and make sure they look as nice as they do here. Because, I mean, if they get paid well and they get good training, they're probably going to be good police officers. And then after that, Mr. Neighbor, I want you to go down and look at their fire department. Make sure they got nice, new, shiny fire trucks that can go put the fire out. And hey, if you're going to move to a place that has snow, I want you to go and look at the snow, you know, the snow equipment they have to remove the snow. Well, I tell you what, Mr. Neighbor, when you get done with that, I'd like you to go down and drive on the roads. And I'd like you to, you know, make sure there aren't any potholes on there for me. And when you get done with that, I'd like you to pull up to the school where you're going to pick up your son or your daughter or your grandchild. And I'd like you to feel comfortable knowing that they're going to get a premier education with highly trained and effective teachers who are going to guide your children into being successful individuals. And when you get done with that, I want you to go for a walk in the Park District. And I want you to tell me if you like all the Park District-y stuff that you've got. And then I'd like you to evaluate all that stuff and decide if paying a little bit more in your property taxes so that you can have all that local money spent in your local community is worth it or not. Those are my questions, and those are the things that I think we should ask. This is just me. This is my 6 o'clock drive home, as I had the privilege of going to work today because I live in Illinois and I work for an amazing company. Talk soon, guys.